Well, good evening, everyone. So excited to be doing this Sunday night call, this Sunday night series for the next 12 weeks through the end of the year with Coach Greg Lovelace. And I shared with you on the live that Greg and I had talked about doing this for quite some time because for those of you who don't know, he's been a fast pitch softball coach for over 30 years, and he's just recently retired, rewired, whatever you want to call it, from coaching a softball team. And so he's writing a book right now on the life lessons of over the years of his coaching that are so powerful. And we just wanted to get these out there to you, several of the stories, because they made such a powerful impact on, there were several times we went out to Lori Funk's retreats or her DAs and shared some of these stories, and the light bulbs just came on for people. And so I thought, you know what, we should do this for our nation. And hopefully this will help you remember through the stories the different themes that we put out there that Greg's going to be sharing. So anyway, so I just wanted to introduce Greg to you. Most of you have met Greg, but there's a lot of new people that have joined the team. So this is my husband, Greg Lovelace. We've been married for going on 43 years this month. We are brand new grandparents to baby Lawson, just a week old. So we're just giddy, excited with a new little one in our life. Our youngest, our baby had a baby, our youngest son, and so we are just so thrilled to be grandparents. There were several that went, actually three: Carol Mathis, Alyssa Cleland, and Debbie Ledour. All three earned the trip to Jamaica, so they left this morning. And so they will be dripping on us as we are in this cold in the Midwest. We've got some cold weather going on, but they're going to be out on the beach. Lisa Gill's already been dripping on us in Hawaii, which has been so fun to see everything going on there. And they just announced the trip for next year for Australia, which will be Fiji, the Fiji Islands. And so it's so exciting for them. I wish I could go with them on their AIT trip next year. But they will be announcing our AIT trip at the trip in Jamaica. And so they typically double point December. And so, focusing on that, I just wanted to put that out there so you have another reason to stay focused on what we're doing toward the end of the year, going into the new year, and make that one of your goals. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Greg so he can start the story, and then I'll do a call to action at the end. So take it away, Greg.
Okay. This week's topic is start swinging. Nothing happens until you start swinging. And the player that best exhibits the power of start swinging is Anna. I first met Anna when she came for tryouts, and when she walked in, she had a tube running out of her shorts down to her knees, and I recognized it right away as an insulin pump. So I told her she had to secure it before she got started. She tucked it in her shorts and she said, "Where do I warm up?" Right away, I liked Anna because she was no nonsense. After taking her through 3 tryouts, I finally offered her a position as a utility fielder. And I also got her on the team because she was a very good hitter. We worked out during the off season and kept track of points. and she had earned the right to hit in the 3 spot at our first game. Our offense was very simple. We had a leadoff hitter that had world-class speed. When she got on base, she would steal second. She would usually steal third. If not, we would move her to third. And that's exactly what happened. Tegan got on first, stole second. Our number 2 hitter bunted her to third. And so Anna was up. She was hitting in the 3 spot. It was a simple process. Anna was supposed to put the ball in play on the ground anywhere in the infield. It didn't make any difference if she got a hit, because 94% of the time, Tegan was so fast, she would score from third as the fielders threw the ball to first and the first baseman threw the ball back home. But to my utter horror, Anna watched not 1, not 2, but 3 strikes go by. We had the third base dugout, and I was coaching in the third base coach's box. Most players would have ducked into the dugout. But Anna walked down to me, walked right up to me and said, "Coach, what do I adjust?" And I said, "I don't know, Anna. You didn't swing. I don't know if you're early, late, above the ball, below the ball. I don't know if your hands came through the right path or if you finished your lower half. I don't know anything because you didn't swing. You've got to start swinging and then I can adjust you." I'll always remember the beautiful smile that came across Anna's face. And she said, "Oh, now I get it." And she turned around, walked away, and then looked back at me and said, "How many push-ups do I owe you?" I said, "How about 5 for each strike you let go by?" So as Anna gets into the dugout, she drops down and does 15 push-ups, and she's smiling the whole time. And I'm thinking, okay, what did Anna just get that she didn't get before? So I walked over to the dugout, and when she finished her push-ups, and I said, "Anna, what did you just get?" She goes, "Oh, I've never hit this kind of pitching before. But you've coached players how to pitch this kind of pitching. So if I start swinging, even if I don't get a hit the first time, you'll adjust me and eventually I'll be able to hit this kind of pitching." I said, "Well, something like that, Anna." A couple weeks later, we were in a rain delay and we were huddled underneath a dry area. And I looked at Anna and I said, "Anna, what was going through your head during that first at bat?" She said, "Oh, that's simple, Coach. I want to play in college. And my dad said if I wanted to play in college, I needed to move from the team I was on to a competitive team like yours. But when I stepped to the plate, all of a sudden I realized if I can't hit this pitching, I'll probably never play in college." And this is a place where this story dovetails with Arbonne, because we set a dream out in the future, and sometimes we're afraid to pursue that dream because if we pursue it and fail, we're afraid the dream will die. But if we leave it out in the future, we think we can keep our dream alive. The only problem is sooner or later, we run out of a future and our dream does eventually die unless we start swinging. Well, Anna started swinging and I started adjusting her. That game happened when she was 12. 5 years later, when she was 17, we were at Nationals in Houston, Texas. And we won our pool, and then we got to buy the first round. We won our second round game, so we were playing in the third round in the winner's bracket against top teams in the country. And it was a pitcher's duel. By the time we got to the 7th inning, there were 2 runners. They got a runner to first, we got a runner to second. That's when Anna came to the plate. She fouled a couple pitches off, ran the count full, fouled a couple more, and then the best way for me to describe it is just boom. Anna got a hold of one. I'll always remember the third baseman ducking And then after the ball went over the fence, she looked at me and she said, "You know, I never really did see that. I only heard it go by." Normally we play on fences that are 200, 210 foot with a 4-foot high fence. These fields were 235 feet with an 8-foot fence, and above the 8-foot fence was a scoreboard. Anna's home run cleared the scoreboard. It's what we call a bus in 30. Meet me at the bus in 30 minutes. It was a walk-off home run. We shook hands with the other team. Then we got together and did our after-action report, our post-game meeting. I had Anna step forward, and one of the dads tracked down the ball and gave it to me, and I presented it to Anna. And then, as my teams always did, we lined up 2 by 2, and we started walking out. I had a rule that the game didn't end until we got to the parking lot. So we're walking out quietly, and behind us, I hear, "Hey, 14, wait up, 14. I need to talk to you, 14. 14 was Anna's number. I looked back to see the pitcher on the other team running after our team. I told my players to stop. The pitcher came up, approached Anna, and said, "14, can I have your game ball? I really need your game ball." Anna didn't say anything. So I looked at Anna and I said, "Anna, she asked you a question." Anna's response was, "Coach, I've never hit a home run at Nationals before. I'd like to keep the ball." I looked at the pitcher and I said, "Hey, pitch, what do you need Anna's home run ball for?" She goes, "I'm 18. I started pitching when I was 8. I just signed a D1 scholarship to pitch for a D1 school. No one's ever hit a home run like that off of me before. I want that ball to put on my desk to remind me that there are still hitters better than me out there, and I need to keep working." I looked at Anna and I said, "Okay, Anna, now that you know, what do you say?" Anna goes, "Coach, I've never hit a home run at Nationals before. I'd like to keep the ball." I looked at the pitcher and said, "Hey, pitch. One of the balls in the game hit the backstop and got nicked. The umpires had to take it out of the game. They gave it to us for a warm-up ball. You pitched the ball. Anna probably fouled it off. Would that work?" She said, "Yes, anything to remember the game." So I got in the game ball bag, found the ball, handed it to her, and it was like a prized possession. She went running off with it, shaking it over her head, back and forth, and her dad was in the distance, mouthing the words, "Thank you, so sorry." We lined up, started walking out, and then Anna goes, "Coach, I don't care if I get in trouble. That was weird, and she's weird." And I said, "Why do you say that, Anna?" She goes, "Just flip it in your head, Coach. All you got to do is flip it in your head. The whole thing's weird." Now, Anna got a 33 on the ACT, and I didn't quite score that high, so I thought she was seeing something I didn't. So I asked her, "What do you mean by flip it in your head?" She goes, "Just flip it in your head, Coach. What if she pitched a perfect game and I walked over and asked for her perfect game ball? Would that make sense?" I said, "Well, you got a point, Anna, but did you hear what she said?" Anna said, "Well, she was so annoying, I didn't really hear most of what she said." I said, "Anna, she's one of the best pitchers in the country. She's going to pitch for a D1 school. And you just didn't hit a squeaker home run. You hit a statement home run. Do you know what that means?" Anna goes, "No, I just saw it as a home run." I said, "That makes you a great hitter. Don't you realize you're a great hitter?" Anna's response was, "Coach, to be honest with you, I've just been adjusting for the last 5 years." The point of the story is Anna started swinging, and we started adjusting her. And slowly but surely, she developed into a great hitter that could handle the best pitchers in the country. But it only happened because she started swinging. And that's where it dovetails with Arbonne, because you've got to get started. You've got to make that phone call. You've got to do that presentation. You've got to send that text message. You got to send that email, contact that friend. You have to start swinging, or you'll be in the same place you were last week in a month. And with that, I'll hand it over to Linda.
That's awesome. Thank you, Greg. That story always is so appropriate for our Arbonne business, because you do have to get out there and get started. I had a gal join my team years ago, and she really didn't, she got to district manager a couple times, but she was trying to make sure that she knew how to do everything before she got started. So she never got started. And so it's the same type of thing, is, you know, Anna getting up to bat and watching 3 strikes go by, you know, trying to be perfect before you're out there doing the do. And so start swinging, you know, with your regular swing, whatever that looks like. Just get started, and then we'll know what to adjust from there. But it's hard to know, you know, how to tweak things or how to get better if you're not out there swinging. So the call to action tonight for this week, I would like you to get out there and swing. You know, this goes right along with the road to RVP MVP that we're doing, getting out there and getting those points every single day. Add points so that you can get in the game, and that's going to move you forward in your business. So going out and swinging by connecting with new people every day, challenging yourself to go out and meet somebody new, and, you know, just strike up a conversation, just practicing. And Arbonne may not even come up in that conversation, but you're out there at least practicing your swinging. Your follow-up, you know, going out and scheduling time to follow up, you know, maybe making that a regular day to do your, you know, maybe Friday follow-up. The other thing is, and I did a little bit on the live about the demographic map. You know, print that off and take a look at it, and really start looking at where you would like to build your business. Where would you like to travel? You know, can you connect with some people before you go out there? That's swinging. You know, go on to, you know, Google, you know, places that you're interested in, and maybe make some connections before you even get there, so that you can have appointments before you get there. So there's lots of ways to swing, so that you have you know, things every single day that you're practicing, and then create your vision, your goal of what you want to accomplish, just like Anna did. You know, she just kept with it, and then all of a sudden she hit that home run. I mean, you know, and that's what we're heading to do in our Arbonne business as well. What are the home runs that you're going to start? You know, everything's going to fall into place because you're out there swinging. So thank you so much for joining us. Our next week, same time, same place. The next topic will be, let's see, data changes the future. So knowing your numbers is always knowing where you're, you know, what you need to be striving toward. So another story around that next week. So thank you so much for joining us. This will be, is recorded, and I'll post it on the Nation page. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you have any questions of Coach Greg about anything that you'd like to ask him, you can go ahead and just, once this is posted, you can put it on the Nation page underneath the recording, and he can answer them on there for you. Is that good, Greg?
That's good. That'll work.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us tonight. Bye.